trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hate. I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they got it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record. Price on y'all, snake eyes on dice for y'all, shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hate, I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they got it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way.
You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rockin' if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love, true to love.
Hello guys and welcome to the stream. I hope you're all well. Yeah, so we're back in Monaco. If you was here yesterday, you would have seen me try and build up the population, which is what we're trying to do really at the moment with these live streams. We're just trying to build up the areas that we haven't really got around to working on. So that's the plan. And that's the plan for today really. We're going to do a couple of hours stream today. And just try and build up this section here. So as you can see, we are slowly now moving into Monaco, and yeah, slowly trying to build up population. You can see now we're nearly at 9,500 people, which is huge for what I have been getting recently. So it's good to see the population is now growing. But yeah, before we get into it, guys, let me know where you're all from. It's always good to know whereabouts you're from. And what you're up to today. Are you off work? Are you skiving? Are you checking out the stream whilst at work? Let me know what you're up to. Hi Joseph. Ran out of popcorn. Well, you can find another delicious treat, I'm sure. But popcorn would have gone down quite nicely, and it's not actually that bad for you. Okay. So we need to work out whereabouts you're up to now. So I've got Google Maps open on the other screen, so I'll show you what I'm sort of looking at as I build. If we jump into this screen, you can obviously see the chat on the side there, but I'm working on this section here now. So it's just a case of working out what is next to do. And I think, looking at the other monitor, we've now done this section here, across there. And here is a big park leading up to this top section, which is actually, I think it's a city park it looks like. So we may do that today, we'll see. But I want to get these houses down. And we have done up to here. So I think we'll do this section here, just fill in the gaps between the two. So this bit here, we're going to try and get filled in here by the tunnel. So let's go try and work out where this tunnel is. Hello Jaren, good to see you. How are you? Alright, so we've done this section, done these mountain top bits. So as I said in the last stream, this area here isn't going to be highly detailed, it's more just a filler background to the detailed areas. Wouldn't be able to detail everything. It's well, it's not really possible with the game itself, and probably blow up my computer. I don't think even a NASA computer would be able to accommodate for the whole of this build to be detailed, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Andy Puck, nice to see you. The mic's quiet, is it? Okay, let me turn that up. Should be alright. Is it better? Is that better like that? If I lower the music as well, maybe that's a bit better. How are you anyway, Andy? It's been a little while, isn't it? Okay, let's get this going, shall we? So, this is the hardest part about doing this, is trying to work out where things are. When you're trying to copy a build, you need to kind of keep your eye on the map of what you're building and then sort of change things around to make sure you're, you know, working on the right area. So you always just got to find a reference point. So we've got this section here, got some buildings here, a few hotels along this section, some buildings along there. What's this bit here? So there's actually a big building site here, so maybe maybe we'll do a little building site here, which would be pretty cool. That's a bit better. All good, thanks. Just building and creating in Conan Exile, so semi-lurking. Oh, awesome. Is that Conan Exile on the PlayStation or is that on the PC? Because I know they've it's free at the moment, I think, on the PlayStation. I was thinking of giving it a go myself. I've seen people play it, never played it myself though. Hey Joseph. Here we go. Yes, here we go. It takes me a while to get into it because it takes me a while to work out whereabouts I'm trying to build. On PC, okay, cool. Well, it's probably better, I assume, on the PC, but especially with the creating and crafting stuff you've got to do. Alright, okay, so let's get some of these buildings down. So the curve of the road is here. The buildings start to go across this section. There is actually another little road here. Where's the? I'm trying to work out where the tunnel is at the moment. So the tunnel seems to be there. So I think we need to move it a tiny bit. And we're going to use these buildings here. Two of these across here. Lower that down. So have they done the updates recently, Andy, for Conan? It's been out a little while now, isn't it? But it seems like people are playing it a bit more now. I wondered if there was any new updates that have made everyone get back into it. Hi, 1 sub challenge. Good to see you again. I think you was in yesterday as well, wasn't you? Oh, you want to do that? So out of the people in the chat at the moment, how many of you actually play the game yourselves, or are you just a fan of watching people build on camera? So I know there's people like that. I mean, I used to do that. I used to watch a lot of people play the actual game and not play it myself until I, got the bug and played it pretty much religiously. There's been a few updates to it, some DLC released, and you can now tame animals now, so instead of running for crocodiles. Oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe some bar and pubs. What, in the build? Could certainly work. I play City Skylines with mods and assets. Hey, Pillarman. How modded do you play it then, Pillarman? Because I know there's many ways you can play this game. When you say modded, it does mean, well, it can mean so many things, to be honest. Like obviously I consider my builds as the highest of sort of modded version of City Skylines there possibly is. Wolf, you play and watch, that's awesome. So what are you building at the moment? What's the people who are playing the game at the moment, what's your sort of build based on? Okay, so let's steal this one. Joseph plays and watches with mods, absolutely. There's a lot of people who like me can't really play the game unmodded now. Not that the game isn't good without the mods, it's just I think when you've crossed over that line of playing the game with mods, it's difficult to play without them. I build a city that's in southern Cali. Oh, awesome! So there's a lot of assets already on there for you to use to do a sort of Cali build. Then Blaze plays heavily modded. Excellent. It's good to hear. I think we did say last episode, or sorry, the last stream, that we was going to detail this area as well, wasn't we? Not detail, but you know, add some bits down to it. So I think we'll probably do that as well. Hello from Finland. Hello, Cardiani. Nice of you to pop by. It's a shame we've got a building to fit in this little gap here. Actually, could do something with it, I guess. Although what we could do, so I think this would fit if it was further back. I tried to copy an Indonesian city but lack assets, so made a European theme. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If there's no assets on the workshop that suit what you want to build, it's pretty difficult to do it, really. There is a difference in vanilla and modded. Is a huge difference. Yeah, it is, Wolf. Definitely. But yeah, I think that's the thing. If there's going back to your point, Joseph, if there isn't any assets available, it's hard to really build, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of why I got lucky and fortunate that all the people wanted to help build some Mediterranean buildings for us to do this series with. Just realised they've got these bloody washing lines out the back, haven't they? Corey, you're working on a Japanese build that has taken almost a whole map. So many Japanese assets. That is true, Corey. There is a lot of Japanese stuff, and I don't know if you've been following the series, but we did do the Japanese gardens down here, and I used a lot of the Japanese assets off the workshop. There's so many nice ones to choose from, and I just built a garden. You know, there's only sort of 2 structures around it. But yeah, even just the smaller detailing stuff, there's so much stuff on there. It's really good to do a Japanese build. But there doesn't seem to be too many people doing them, which is interesting. But it's good to hear you are. If anyone's got any screenshots as well that they want to show off their cities, by all means post them. I don't think I've got a bot that's going to terminate any links, but if you do it anyway, we'll soon find out. Okay, so that's that section here. I do have to keep sort of backing out and going back in to see where we were at. So that's this section here. Okay, so the tunnel goes underneath here. Yeah, that's right. And there is a big triangular building on this corner here. Okay. That could work out quite nicely then. So what we'll do is we'll pick up this. Yeah, I've dropped my build for now until I can get more tropical buildings. Yeah, that's it. And to be fair, it probably won't be long until someone actually does release something that suits what you need. And you know, the guys who are actually doing the buildings are so good at releasing assets nowadays. It's new ones come around all the time. You just got to get lucky that someone wants to build something you want to that point. Okay, so this is triangular. It kind of goes like this, and then another piece next to it. So we'll try and imitate that. So we'll do that piece there. I'm working on a California big city, Italian city, from sea to mountain in UK city. Oh, awesome. So nice combination there. Wolf, I posted my layout on Discord. Oh, is that the one you posted a little while back? I remember seeing that, so I remember thinking that was it was just after I posted my road layout for Monaco, wasn't it? That looks really cool. So let's try and join this up to there. Like that, to create that triangle building. Just the amount of things I need are after dark and mess up the game. Okay. So there's another tunnel bit here as well where the road comes through. What we need here, we need to complete the row of buildings across here to about there, I think. So let's do another copy and paste of these ones to fill in this gap. so that's that. And what I want is, what are they called? These buildings here. So let's go on to that. Click on the buildings, copy that. This is what I want. That's it, perfect. So actually this goes underneath this building to here. But what happens if we raise these up? Does it bring the land with it? No. Okay, so that kind of works. Which means we can then move this across. And then we've got this building underneath it, which works out nicely. Although I may turn this around to be like that. And then raise it up a little bit more. I think that works about there. Does Project Monaco have industry? It doesn't, in the sense of it's not. I'm not playing the game like you should, if that makes sense. So I don't have any plans to sort out the industry side of things. So as you can see here, I've got the mod that has, well, basically just gives you a high of everything. So I'm not really bothered about that aspect of Monaco. It might be something I change later on, but for now I'm just purely playing the game in a sort of sandbox mode. I'm not really thinking about that side of things. Can we move this across a bit more? There we go, it's better. Perfect. And the reason why I want this bit here is because this actually goes over here a little bit more. Because there is another little road here, it looks like, that comes out from the tunnel maybe? It's quite hard to see. Big road there, the tunnel goes there. So yeah, there is another road, it looks like, that comes out of here. So let's put that in first. Kind of goes above the tunnel. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to bring it down here. Maybe make a mall. Well, I think I've actually done something similar to that already. I mean, the thing about Monaco is obviously I'm trying to create it like for like, so I don't really want to add things that aren't there. But, I mean, there's plenty of areas around here that would accommodate a mall, etc. Let's just try and move this a bit to make it a bit more tidy. So then we're just going to copy this here. Just to fill that gap out. And don't worry about that bit there, we're going to put something on top of that as well. In fact, I think we'll leave that bit like that. We'll overlap it to there, I think. That looks better. It also just adds a little bit of different colour, but what I might do, I might put the Plobble asphalt on top of that. copy these buildings and put these across here. Police, yeah, I've got a police station. I've got to sort of cheat the police in a way. Can we get away with putting some stuff here? Let's do that twice. And then we'll take one of these ones. Try and get to the same height as the road. Like that. And across here it looks like it's more hotel-y bits again, so what I'm going to do, we'll leave that building there, and what we want to do is try and find a shortish building for a hotel look. So this one I think we've used already, haven't we? But it looks nice. I like this one. So we're going to add this one across here. Hoping that it doesn't mess up the terrain here. Let's have a look. That looks pretty good actually. That works quite nicely. We'll bring it down a little bit to level up with that, but we're going to put 2 across here and hope that we can get the terrain to work around it. We could lower that road a little bit. Let's put it there. And then we'll bring this down a little bit to there. Are the modern architecture buildings going to be recreated by some asset editors? Because the Monaco ones are really great and would fit in. Which ones do you mean? You want about, is there going to be more? Or are you asking if the ones that I'm using are going to be added to the workshop? Because they should already be on there. I'm not sure why this has got such a big dip. Let's put that road back in. Does that look better? Still a little bit of a strange drop. Let's see if we can just level terrain this to what mark should we do? Probably too high to do that one, but we will do that. Yeah, look, it's because I think because the terrain is going at a level that we can't quite do that in that fashion, but we can probably do this as long as it suits the rest of the pathway, which it does actually. We can do that. Put those 2 in there. It doesn't match too badly actually to this. So what we're going to do also is then move this across to hide this section. Like that. And don't worry about that flicker, we'll get rid of that shortly. I know a few yesterday were interested in the puppy cam, so I actually found my good camera. And I will show you what the puppy looks like. So there he is. Sound asleep. So that is Bailey, who is a 8-month-old, I think now, about 8-month-old Cockeranian. So a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a Pomeranian. But yeah, he's just doing his business over there. Not his business, obviously that wouldn't be very good, but you know what I mean. Blaze, I mean the example residential building which you still didn't use or not even created yet. I think in terms of the Monaco build, I think I won't be asking for any more assets to be built. I've already had a good 50 plus being built for this series. So I am just combining what we already have here to try and create the look. The orange roofs already, to me, means that this looks a lot more like Monaco anyway. But there are, like you say, other buildings throughout Monaco that would be nice if we could have a building built for that. But I'm probably just going to keep things as they are now, because it's going to be a lot of effort to get people to start recreating more buildings and whatnot. Cheers, card. Okay. And it's just trying to make the area just look crammed, I guess. You know, Monaco is one of those areas that's all very tight, and a lot going on around it. So it's just a case of trying to find the right asset to go into the right areas. Right, so we've done that section there now. We can fill in this gap now, and I like these buildings actually. I'm not sure, could we get away with using these in this section? Because what I like to do is, you know, make things a bit, I don't want to do the whole strip the same building, so it's nice to have a bit of variance. And this is a nice looking building, to be honest. Whether it suits the area or not, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to put both of these down, I think. They do look Monaco-esque in their sort of build. Annoying that they got those plants there though. So we'll do something like this, I think. Ah, that's annoying, isn't it? We'll have to extend this road a little bit to fit those in, which is fine. We can get away with that. So we can do something like that. It just changes things up a little bit, doesn't it? We don't want to keep things looking the same everywhere we build. Different colour roofs certainly does help make things look a lot more realistic. Put that one there. So out of you guys watching at the moment, what part of Monaco are you most excited about me building? Is there a certain area that you can't wait for me to try and tackle? Or has it already been done? Have you already seen the area you wanted to be built, and what are your thoughts on it? It's always interesting to know what people are looking forward to seeing in the next episode. Drop that one in there. I was asking because there are some modern areas without these old Mediterranean ones. If you look around Monaco, you'll see modern architecture building very easy. Oh yeah, certainly, yeah. I mean, this section here that I'm working on has a combination of both. If I flip over to this screen, you can see here these are clearly more modern buildings on this side of the road, but these are a bit more Monaco-esque, like the ones we have been building with the different sort of coloured roofs. But this section here obviously is a bit more modern, so we need to try and find something for that really. And in fact, I'm not going to put this one here. We're instead going to try and find some higher rise buildings, I think. But not too high rise, because this area doesn't really have that at the moment. See, it's quite a nice building, but the green on the bottom just looks a little bit overkill really. What does this look like? Not too bad. So it's now just a case of trying to find the best looking building that suits that area really. And there are all these ones, I think from the last patch, that have the grass roofs, which is quite handy because we can use those to our advantage here. It's just there's never obviously a perfect building unless it's been one that someone's created, which obviously is a downside to doing a project such as trying to recreate Monaco. See, that's not too bad, it's just a little bit too high. Kind of want that sort of look, but on a smaller scale. Don't want the wood bits either. So most of the buildings are sort of white as well. But if anyone has found anything that would suit Monaco, by all means let me know and drop me a link to that on the workshop. This actually looks quite good. If we can change the colour on these, oh, didn't mean to do that one. If we jump out and move it, why is it still clicking on it? Stop it. We jump onto this, and if we can change the colour, that actually works well. And go for a sort of that colour. Let's copy that. Copy that, and do the same colour for these buildings. We can then use Move It to get these closer to the road. Got that bit though, but we can get away with that. If I can get rid of that, I don't know if I've still got that mod on here. I think that's quite a good height. Let's give it a quick save. Hopefully it saves without crashing. It does seem the more you play this game, the longer it takes to save, which obviously always worries you when you've done a bit. Okay. I forgot, what was that mod that you used to remove stuff from buildings? Have I still got that? Did it prop it up? Was it that, or was that something different? I think I've got it. Yeah. How to use it? What button was it? What is the key to bring that up? Okay, let's see if this works. I know sometimes this crashes people's games. But let's have a look. So we want to get rid of that. So what's that going to be called? That will be not the fence. Maybe it's not got it on here. Doesn't seem like it has. It's strange. Thought they would have the decals on these. Flower pot, radio mask, AC box, street lamp. So none of these are what we want to remove, which is annoying. So that's not going to work, but we can probably still use this. We just have to be a bit clever about it to hide that annoying bit there. So it does actually overlap anyway. So if we just put these bits here together, so there's one here, one here. This one's actually smaller, so we'll remove that. Put that in there. It's too big anyway, isn't it? It's all overlapping here. Okay, it's going to be easier to not use these then. We want to find something similar to that. It's not too bad, a little bit too tall though. Is there a smaller version? have these ones which are really nice. Might have to put one of these in. Let's move that over there for now. I really do like this. This model is really, really nice. It fits quite nicely actually. I think we'll keep that one in there. And then this will move across as well. This part of the road we're happy to move across a little bit to accommodate that, that's fine. Looks too small now, that one, so we won't use that. A bit too small. Maybe that one, we'll just change the colour and swing it around a little bit. Let's try that. It's actually already white, isn't it? Okay, so maybe we'll just do it a bit more creamy like that, that's fine. This one we'll make a bit more whiter. That's already white. So is that one. Okay, so we got those buildings in there. We can play around with that detail after. And we want to do the same here to hide this terrain. Now, let's have a look. So the tunnel is here. Looking on my other screen, got this bit here. So what can we fit in this gap? I think I have to put trees on this side. If we can fit a few buildings in here, that would be nice. How's it going to look when you use something like this? Okay, not too good. Move this one up here, because they are like houses up here actually. They look like hotels or apartments. I think we can probably get away with using these. do that. Now hopefully we can clean this up a little bit. I think there might be one too many on that corner. Let's get rid of that one. And what we're going to try and do is add firstly something around here to hide the gaps. Because obviously from here it's fine. So let's see if we can get away with using the Vanya's block. So we go up to about here, where this house ends. And then that one to there. If we raise these up to the same level, and then simply click, copy and paste it. Put it there. Move this across. Just to make that level there. So I'm not sure this is meant to be this steep, to be honest, but it is what it is. You have to keep it as that. This is the hardest part about working with terrains, is trying to get things to look realistic, and obviously with the game itself it's hard to sometimes get areas to look as real as possible. But I wonder if we can do this. Let's bring these up. Does that mean we can move this in as well, and kind of make a curve shape? Like that. It's not too bad. perhaps then we can't really lower that because it will break that up, but never mind, we'll do it like that. Just looks a bit cleaner. Do that to there. So it doesn't look the best, but it's certainly better than having unrealistic looking buildings. And we can also use these as well. These network slopes. Which do work really nicely. Okay, so we want that. You can then hide away these bits quite nicely. So moving this means that we can show, well, we can change the fact that there's a lot going on here. Right, where's that other node gone? Here? Move that across like that. So then you can kind of hide the fact that there's a big steep hill with these slope adjustments. In this one, we're just going to add one of these buildings. So we can put some trees around this one as well to hide the rest of this ugliness, so to speak. Something like that. So I wonder if we can get one of those bits to go down here. So I think this that we just placed here probably look better over here. good thing about this, we can just upgrade this particular one until we find one that suits what we're trying to do. So I think that's the wrong way around, so we do that. Can then go in here. And I guess if we drop this down so it's just going over where we want it to, which is there, does that mean that we can then grab that node, put it across, raise it up? See, it's not working too bad. It just makes that not look as sharp and painful to drive up, etc. Let's fill in this bit now then, I guess. Does that look like we put that in there? So we do need to use the smaller buildings on this bit here to hide these away, but we could also plop a few of these in, I think. So that's bringing out the wall as well, which is good. We do need to raise these up a little bit. In fact, could we get away with it facing that way? That looks better. You can drop that down to the same level. Something like that. Normally it leaves these bits on the mountain side. Turn it around, we can get away with that way then, can't we? welcome back. One sub challenge. Where do people park their cars in Monaco? It's a good question, David, and it's actually something I looked into. And there is a hell of a lot of underground car parking in Monaco. A lot of underground car parking. So there are obviously the streets and there are places where people park, but it looks like the majority of the area is underground parking because there's not a lot around that you can park your car in. And I imagine the good spots probably cost a lot of money. Probably the cost of a Lamborghini in itself to park your vehicle. So it does seem there's a lot of underground car parking around, especially it seems like each sort of hotel has its own car parking lot underground, so that's what it seems like to me. I've not actually obviously experienced that myself, but if anyone in chat has, be interesting to know. Both of them. Okay, let's raise this up. I'm just going to add some filler bits around here as well because there are little buildings in between these segments and it's going to look a lot better from the aerial view. If we add a few more of these around. More trees, yeah, I'll add the trees in definitely. One sub, we'll add some trees in a bit. We need to go over all of this section shortly and add some trees in that. But what we're going to do, we're going to finish this little bit here, this corner, and then sort of detail this whole segment, and then that's pretty much what I want to do for today at the very least. Probably got another hour or so to stream before I need to do stuff. But yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. Shipping looks a bit silly, that one. Let's get rid of that. Let's get that lamb back up there. I mean, like I say, if you look at this from a distance, it doesn't actually look terrible, does it? Like we're trying to get the height of Monaco basically. From a distance is what matters. When you look at Monaco from a distance, you're not looking and being able to see every single type of detail. The detail is in the sort of front part that you look. So the detailed areas which I've done here is what you see beyond that. So I'm kind of happy with how this is looking at the moment. Obviously it feels a bit strange not detailing heavily, but It's another new way of building for me, I guess. So what else can we take from around here? Done that one. That's not a bad one we can add. We can have these. Hopefully we can change the colour though. It's these bits that are really difficult to get to work with terrain in this game. See how painful this looks, can't you, in terms of terrain? It's got obviously this big corner now that's lunged in the corner, which is going to be hard to hide. So what we can do is we can swing this around, because you wouldn't imagine that bit to be where the entrance is. You imagine that to be nice and smooth to be able to get in and out of the area. But this section here, you could imagine that being as it is, and we can hide it away with some trees as well a bit later on. Lower that down. I want to put in probably one of these corner buildings over here. In fact, if we put two down like this, doesn't look too bad. Balconies either face the ocean, that is true. Most of them do. If you're on about these ones here, that's the only way I'm going to be able to do that, which is fine. I think most of the balconies are facing that way, aren't they? Find something for here, that would be quite nice. Could just go two of these actually. What's that going to do to the terrain? Let's have a look. Okay, not too bad. If we move it over, it does. Well, what we could do actually, we can do this. And then possibly try and snap a building in underneath this. So maybe one of those shops. Maybe something like this we could snap into it. That should keep the terrain going as well then. But it'll look a bit more realistic. Hopefully. Maybe not. I think that hill is just too steep to snap another building in against it. Which is a shame, but it's okay. We can make do. I could spend a lot of time and get it perfect here, but it's an area that's not going to really be seen apart from long range, so I don't really feel that it's necessary to spend a lot of time on this area here. obviously a big drop down there, but what can we put? Can we go for another one? We can probably get away with it like that. Raise that up a little bit to bring the door into play. So now we're getting those sort of nice curvy looking roads with buildings close by, which Monaco is obviously very known for. And we can fill in these bits as well with some filler buildings such as these to fill in some of these gaps. In fact, can we put a filler building here? Could possibly do something like this, couldn't we? There you go, that's not too bad. We can add this on the side. And then a little trick is to then get the poppable pavement. If we get one of the smaller ones. And then just drop it in to a position that looks good. You see, by doing that, it just brings everything back up a level, so it doesn't look as bad in terms of the drops. And we can even put one there. I think we can get away with that. And there. And just there. In fact, pretty much all of this segment. Probably not that bit though. And then all you do is just add a wall. Simple as that, just to hide the area that you've just done basically. What wall can we put in there? We'll do the same on this side. You can literally just add a big bush in that corner, and you can see it just looks better just by adding these little fake parts of the building. You get this look that even though you're building on some terrible terrain here, you can still make things look pretty. Let's just try and find some cluster of bushes or something to go in this corner. You can literally just fill it right up to the door. And no one's none the wiser, really, are they, in that sense? And from a very ugly looking segment, we've managed to make that look a lot more presentable and a lot more realistic on this very sort of sharp bend, or sharp curve, sorry. So it's those little things we need to sort of do just to make it look a bit more appealing. Adding in the foliage as well obviously is going to make it look more realistic. Fill in the pathways here as well. So I'm quite pleased with that. It looks pretty nice now, this little corner. This is the bit that I was worried about that look a bit silly. We've obviously got a big gap here, but what's to say we can't just get this building and copy it and just put it in there, you know? No reason why it can't just carry on around it. So, I mean, if you look at Monaco, there's a lot of buildings within buildings that take up parts of it. And then if we jump out of that and click on it, we can then change it to the same color. So let's do them the same. Let's go for this sort of color. Copy that. And then we'll go onto the building and paste it. So now they both have the same color building as well. We could do something similar here as well. However, this is a little bit more tricky. But again, we can use these filler buildings to try and make it look a bit more appealing. So we could drop this in somewhere like that, which then automatically drops down the terrain. We could do the same with this as well. We have actually hit the bottom of where this bridge is, the tunnel, sorry. So we need to raise it up a little bit, and if we could get it up to that level, that's not too bad. Although, what's happening there? Looks a bit silly, isn't it? Let's move that down there then. And I'm hoping we can then cover in these bits. Yes, we can, which is good. With those bits as well. And then we can fill the other areas with some trees as well to make that look a bit more natural. So we're just going to fill all of this in with the pavements. The trees that we add in shortly are going to be what breaks this up. And we can add some bits in like this as well, so some little like seating areas, etc. to make it look a bit more alive, I guess. Can we fill in just that bit there? Almost. Actually we can, yeah, we can go like that. Keep that bit there as grass. Now we did say about stopping this fluttering, and the only way really of doing this is using the ploppable asphalts on top. And then we can put some decals over the top to make it look a bit better. So let's do that first. So we do that, and then we'll copy these across. And I always like to leave a little border around the outside. It just looks a little bit cleaner. So it looks like it's the brickwork going around it. So once we've got those bits, jump off of that. And why is it not? Oh, we're not on surfaces. Okay, so let's just do surfaces only. And then copy all these. And just paste these on top. And again, these aren't adding to the prop count, but I'm not too concerned. Put that there, and then what we do, we go into the decals, and the one I'm going to look for is stained. And we just add this on top, and it just looks like a natural sort of old weathered roof. But what we're going to do as well is we're going to page down this. So as you can see, it slowly disappears, and we want to get to a point where it's visible, but only just like that. As you can see now, we have the look that we're going for. We do the same with the pavements as well, because it just lightens the pavements up. So if we see here, for example, that's on a different height, so that's why that's not showing. But if we try and get to that height, it's going to let us up to here. So we can just fade it down. You can see you're just adding a few little bits here and there. Just makes things look a little bit different, especially when you're using a lot of the same colour pavements. It's probably more of a concern with this build than other builds, because obviously Monaco is just all of these pavements, these pinky, orangey pavements. One thing you need to remember as well is each time you place it down, if the terrain's slightly different, then obviously the amount that you've paged up and paged down will change. But you can see it just makes things, it just roughens things up a little bit better. I mean, the texture of the pavement itself is really good, but just adding in these extra little marks just brings it to life a bit. Hi H8 or Hate Stee King. Nice to see you in the stream. We're also going to just fill in these bits as well. And I think we're going to add some of the foliage in this section now, just to close it off a little bit. And I'm thinking in the bigger sections where we've got quite a lot of space to build in, we're just going to put some plants and flowers down. Just something like this, nothing crazy, just to add to the ambience. Saying that hasn't really worked too well, has it, with the terrain? Okay, what we'll need to do instead is this one go on there. Planter, go for network structures, and what were they called? Love your work, mate. Great stuff. With love from South Africa. Hey Philip, and greetings from South Africa. What time is it in South Africa? And obviously thank you very much for the kind words. But yeah, what time is it there? I'm trying to find those planters. I think King Leno done. If we just type in, was it King Leno? Maybe we put some trees along here then. $5:30. Okay. Oh, you're actually not that far away from my time zone now. I didn't realise that. It's 4:30 in here. Let's just do this. It's not going to look the cleanest, but from high above, it's not going to be too bad. So how long have you been following the series, Philip? I think we need to put our building here to enclose this bit off. In fact, what I might do, type in curb for what you're looking for. Oh, thank you, Julie. You're right, aren't you? Yes, curb. That's exactly what I was looking for. Although, I don't think I'll use it now. Well, will it look better? Yeah. Well, thanks, Julie. Thank you for that. I knew it was a network of some description. I didn't realise it was called a curb. So are these bits like this where we could put staircases down? Since the harbour. Oh, excellent. So literally episode 2 then, really. So you've been watching pretty much the whole thing. That's really cool. It's always interesting to see or find out who's been following for how long. You're welcome. It looks good though the way it is. Oh, thanks, Julie. Thank you. It's one of those, it's just trial and error, isn't it? You can make things work. And if they don't, you just change it. It's, you know, it's nice to have that variance. And like I say, this area here is definitely not going to be a detailed area. Not at all detailed, really. It's just we're just adding these plants and flowers just to bring it alive a bit. So Julie, are you a player of the game, or are you more of a watcher and admirer of City Skyline players, or gameplay, as the case may be? I'm going to give it a quick save as well. Now wait for it to save. You play too? Okay, cool. What are you building at the moment? What's your current area you're trying to replicate or base a build upon? I'm not going to change it, but I'm not too happy with that. It doesn't quite, I don't know if it looks right from a distance. It looks like it's a big wall in the way, but I'm going to keep it. But what I think I'm going to do is remove these. And I probably assume these as well. And put a bigger building there. I'm just building a regular American city. Oh, excellent. You've got plenty of props and assets to be using to do that. That's great. I might have to do one of these bigger ones actually. I just want to take away the tension from that wall. So I may change a few other bits as well. Put some vines on it. Yeah, that's a good idea, Julie. Put some vines across it. Certainly do that. But I do still want to take away a bit of the tension as well with some of these bits. Let's do that and then change the colour. And maybe we replace these with that as well. What's this one? Do something like that, couldn't we? Put that in there. Now, do we have any vines? I think I must have used vines before. Let's have a look. Yes, we do have some vines. started playing after finding Corrales. My son likes Minecraft. Oh, excellent. Yeah, to be fair, Corrales is also the reason why I play this game. I used to love watching his videos. Now, Vine's going to be a pain to do here. I might leave the Vine idea for now, just because I think it's going to be annoying to do on camera. So instead, we are going to put some plants and a few table and chairs around, I think. Just basically imitate what we've already done in other places and other locations. So across all here, I think it would be silly not to add some flowers and trees. Can't do it all the way across because I'll be a bit silly. So do you also play Minecraft then, Julie, or is it just your son that plays? So I think Minecraft, for people who play City Skylines, will probably enjoy playing that sort of a game because they are very similar in terms of you're creating something from nothing. There. I used to play it, but I got tired of it after a while. Is it a bit more tedious to play than jumping into City Skylines then? Because I mean, I find City Skylines very easy to get into, but you do sometimes get a builder's block, as I call it, where you can't really work out what to do or build, or you know, perhaps it's a bit too much at that point. So I want to go too over the top of these palm trees, but I do want to add a few in because they do look nice. It's harder to build on Minecraft. I like cities better. Okay. That's a very valid point to make. I think here we're going to put some table and chairs. It amazes me what other people build in both games though. Oh yeah, definitely. There is, if you're a follower of Corrales, I'm sure you've been watching or at some point seen that series he did where he was showing off some of the builds that other people have done in Minecraft. There was actually one that someone pointed me towards, which was one person who recreated Monaco, which was pretty cool to see. But that looked really cool. But I've seen like boats people have made on Minecraft, and yeah, it's you know, it's one of those things. It's ridiculous. If you put your heart into it, you can make pretty much anything, and you can certainly make it look really, really good. think what we try and do, let's try and put ploppable pavement down again. I'm going to try and level this off a little bit. With Yoda, that's it, yeah. That's really cool, that is. Okay, so can we get away with doing this and there to about here, which levels it all off very nicely, and then getting some steps. Might be a bit too high. Could just do something like that. And then just move that there. So we've now got a little staircase going up to this segment. Which probably needs to go a bit higher, doesn't it? We'll have to do another one then. To there. That's okay, that can work. So a little staircase going up. And then we'll probably put, unfortunately we won't be able to put those palm trees up there though, because it will just drop through the map, which is a shame. As you can see, it's not going to hit to that, but what we can do is we have already put some deck chairs and stuff around here, haven't we? So hello Evo, welcome to the stream, mate. These, okay, so they was part of that. Okay, so these are now the right height. Just add these in this corner. How are you? I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you? How's your day going? So we can do something like that, just to fill in those gaps. And then do something the same this side as well then. Excellent, that's good to know. Nice work, thanks Viz. Wiz, sorry, not Fizz. So there we go. This looks a bit more, you know, filling in this area now. We could do some sort of tree. So let's go tree. And the only way we're going to be able to do this is having a tree that is, what am I looking for? A prop. So if it's a prop tree, we'll be able to do it because we should be able to raise it up and down. So for example, this one, we can move this and higher and lower it, and it will still work. And it won't fall through the map like trees will. Used to have 2 pugs. Oh, excellent. Well, I actually don't have a pug. I will, let me show you what I currently have. So this is my dog. His name is Bailey, and he is a Cockeranian. So he's a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a Pomeranian. So a unique breed, as I've been told. But yeah, he just chills down there whilst I play. Fast asleep. He'll be wide awake in half an hour because that's when he normally goes for his W. I won't say the word because yeah, we know how intelligent dogs are to know what they are. But yeah, that's the little one. He's the one that sits beside me as I record. So if you ever hear a rattle of a collar or a little bark or some sort of movement, it's normally him. Not sure I can really leave it on puppy cam. I think he's in a awkward position, so we'll turn it off now. We'll have a look at him a bit later on. I used to have 2 ferrets now. Oh, awesome. Yeah, he's a bit of a cutie, isn't he? Thanks for the follow as well, Wiz. I think I missed that at first, but thanks for the follow. Not sure if it pops up on my screen. Let me see if I can do a yeah. Anyway, okay, so yeah, so that's how we are able to put things down. I think this is actually quite a good one to have just randomly around places. A sort of a bench of a tree on is quite a common, obvious thing, isn't it, to have. Definitely need to put some stuff down here. We could just imitate what we've done on this side of the road as well, which will be a lot easier, I think. So like I said, I don't want to detail too much. It's just adding a few little bits in here and there. I need to make a video sick, promised, but I'm lazy and lazy what to do. I say do what you feel like doing. I think I did actually say I was going to do something here, didn't I, over this? Going to get one of the smaller buildings in here. And the interesting thing is I've not clicked play since we've done all of this building, which means we should hopefully see a big improvement on our people, on our population. 9.5 is what we started at the start of this stream, so it will be interesting to see what that raises up to. Okay, cool, Evo. You do that. So I think we're going to add some of these trees now in a few of the areas. especially like these segments here. I'm going to try and put some of the Avania cliff faces on this section here to make that look a bit more like a cliff. And then we just want to, from above, just plop a few of these around. As I say, it's no patterns involved here, just filling in some of the gaps that may need it. Especially by this wall here. Good morning, Megan. How you doing? Nice of you to drop on by. How are you doing? I saw you back into playing Cities again, which is awesome. I caught a bit of the stream the other day. Very red city here. Oh yes, red, orange, pink. It's all about Monaco here. Having fun playing Cities again. Well, that's it, isn't it? Like, there's times where you kind of not fall out of love with it, but there's times where you have what I class as the builder's block, and you kind of, you want to play something different, and you want to give yourself a bit of a rest, and then come back to it. Happens to everyone. I mean, Monaco, certainly, it's happened to me in Monaco because, you know, I'm having to, well, I say I'm having to, obviously I chose to build it like this, but I'm having to copy something exactly as it is. And that does get a bit tedious at times, to have to do what you see rather than what you want to do. Just in time for summer, I'm ready to have no life, some video games. So you planning yourself to stay in and play video games all summer now then, is that what you're saying? Here's hoping. Come on, I'm sure you've got things to do outside. I thought you went to the gym and stuff, and you know, got to keep yourself active outside as well as inside. I mean, as much as I'd love to stay inside and play Cities all the time, you kind of do have to go outside to do some things, and you know. Right. Now I know there's a few of you in here now. I suppose I should really do a tour, shouldn't I? But are you guys that have only been following recently, you probably haven't seen what I've actually built. I mean, this area here is very scrappy in my opinion. It's not detailed, it's not what my channel's about. This is just filling in gaps to make it look more like Monaco. But yeah, anyone want to see the rest of Monaco? I'll leave that to you lot to decide, otherwise I will carry on trying to fill out some gaps. It's cold in Michigan where I am. Okay. In the UK, we had a few hot days. I say hot, it wasn't hot, the sun was out, which is probably what we class as hot, to be fair, in the UK. It's not really ever massively hot. But yeah, today's a bit more overcast, which is what we come to expect when we're living in the UK. Put some steps in here. Is it cold there? As in what, Ukraine or the UK? Where are you from, Julie? Are you from the UK? Oh. Is it? That's another thing as well. Is it Megan or is it Megan? Like, I know Megan can be spelled that way, but is it Megan or is it Megan? It's a bright sunny day here in Helsinki. Oh, awesome. So that's what I like doing as well, adding in these little staircases. Just because it also then just portrays the height differences that we're working on here. It makes it look, you know, showing off this beautiful terrain height that we're going to be working on over the next couple of months. You're from the US, okay. I wasn't sure where you're from. 20 degrees in Kiev, or Kiev, wherever it's pronounced. It's definitely coming along though, isn't it? Look at that, we can get some really cool height images now. And let's have a quick save again, because we've only probably got 20 minutes left of this stream until I need to start doing some bits and bobs this end. Okay, let's save that. And if I can, well actually no, it's probably not worth it. Let's save this first. Plus there's lots of wind. Well, that's the thing as well, isn't it, Card? Once there's wind, it's obviously a lot of us, well, that's when it feels and is a lot colder than it actually is. That's why it's always so cold here in the UK. It's, you know, when it's windy, you're kind of stuffed. Hey Argos, how you doing? Thank you for the cheers. Oh, you can't cheer. I just saw it come up as text. I don't know how you do it. I think you've got to click on the button, haven't you? To click on the little icon-y bit. But good to see you again. How you been? How's your day? Oh, you said, well, saying that, you said good morning, so I assume it's, is it fairly early where you are? I forget where you're from. I'm terrible at remembering where people are. Okay. But yeah, look at this. We are starting to get some really cool images now and views with the terrain slowly building up, and a few little skyscrapers or apartments, whatever you want to class it as, in Monaco. This is what I'm looking for as well. When we're looking at sort of these views and these angles, you can really see the height terrain change. It just looks really nice, and if we can, this may crash the game, guys, but I'm hoping it doesn't. There we go. So we're in a good, so it's obviously like not the frames down, but now look at this. This does look really good. It's 10:40, so not that early, but my day has just started. Well, that's, if your day's just started, it's still the morning, isn't it? Whether it's 10 to 12 or what, it's still just starting. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how this is starting to come about. And if you can think about it, if you can imagine this segment we've done recently, but once we start working on all of this, it's going to really, really come to life. And you can see, as I say, like not much detail has been done in this segment here, but you know, it's still looking good. I'm still a bit concerned about this wall. I might have to do something about it. But it might, I'm sure it'll get hidden away once we start building up around it. I may have to put a few more taller buildings in here, but it's not too bad. It's just looks different. I guess it looks out of place at the moment. But yeah, we're certainly getting some nice views now from these sort of angles. We're going to jump out of the high dynamic resolution because we lost a lot of frames there. I like it. It's a difficult build. Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Julie. Yeah, it is a, you know, it's a challenging build. It's one I do want to complete though. It's just taking a lot of time, which is why I've made the decision now to not detail heavily in these building areas and just concentrate on the sort of core elements of the build. So for example, we obviously spent a lot of time detailing the harbour, which in my opinion is a big part of Monaco. Leno made some more network walls, I believe. Hi Extreme. I think you, I don't know if Leno did, he may have done, but I think you may be thinking of Los Gecko. He's done a lot of network walls. He done one a week actually, I think last week, so he's got a lot of walls about as well. But yeah, I think we're just going to finish today. 15 minutes or so. Apologies, Arcos, I know you just popped by, but I've got to sort out the dog and make myself some food and all that because it's nearly 5 PM here. My dog has decided to start chewing stuff as well. What are you doing, Bailey? No, don't take that. This could be the new part of the stream actually. What's Bailey eating today? Being a 6-month-old pup, he certainly does like finding random stuff to eat, and this is coming at him. What have you got? Bit of cardboard. Leave it. So yeah, he finds random stuff and just chews on it. You sit? Sit. Good boy. Come here. Sit. Paw. Good boy. Down. No. Sit. Can you do the spin? Spin. Good boy. So yeah, they're the party tricks that we can show off. I've only had him 2.5 months and he's already learned some tricks. He came to me basically as a farm dog and didn't know anything really. He didn't know how to sit. So yeah, he's definitely a quick learner. Sit. But he's also a very hungry and bitey dog because he's still in his puppy years, obviously only being sort of 8-month-old or 8 months young, as you may call it. Yes, spaniels do have a habit of eating a lot of things. This one's a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a Pomeranian, so he is actually a crossbreed between 2 very lovable dogs, but 2 very hyper dogs as well. But that might be a new thing for the stream. We can have a little Bailey moment, I guess, where we can do some doggy treats and tricks and see how things are going. But yeah, he's definitely learning well. He's learning quickly. He is a baby. That's it, Julie. He is still very, very young, and he's doing really well. He came to me about 70% toilet trained, and now I mean, touch wood, he's not had an accident inside for a good month and a half. So very intelligent dog in that sense. My dog responds to hand commands. Well, that's interesting you say that, Extreme, because hang on a minute. Bailey, what are you doing now? Bailey, come and get your toy. Go and get it. Get it. Go on. But yeah, as I say in Extreme, so I'm trying to work out if he's going more by my hand control, my hand signals, or my voice. Because dogs do get attached to each side very differently. Like some signals that I do, like when I say sit, whether it's the hand signal or the voice, he knows how to do that one. But sometimes when I was teaching him how to do spin, sometimes I had to sort of move my hand in the signal to do it because the voice signal didn't quite, he didn't quite know what I meant. But he does seem to be doing a lot more signals now in both the voice and the hands. So we'll see. He's still learning. He is getting a bit hyper now though, because he knows it's nearly 5 o'clock, and 5 o'clock means he gets to have the W, which I can't say out loud because he will go absolutely hyper. Because after the W is the F word, and I mean that in the nice way possible, the one that consumes in his body, not the other word. So he is going a little bit hyper now. Actually, we may have to end it there, I think, guys, because he is getting a bit hyper. But before I do go, if you're watching on Twitch, please feel free to give me a follow. It'd be lovely to have you here next time, because I'm going to try and do a bit more streaming now. I I don't. The thing is, with the series, I don't really want to do an episode of just me placing all these buildings down. I think that would be really, really boring. But it would be the opposite if I'm streaming it, because you know, if I'm streaming it, I get to talk to you guys. I get to do it on camera. Still, you know, the stream still gets uploaded to YouTube and Twitter, so you still can watch it back to see how I did stuff. But I don't think it really warrants an episode in itself. I'll probably do a overview episode, sort of showing what I have done and how I did do it, but I don't really want to do an episode like that. So I think I'm just going to carry on streaming the sort of population build up. What we'll do actually quickly is see how many people we can move in before we end the stream. So 9,500 what we're at. You can see now, if you're wondering what that noise is, he is trying to destroy a box under the desk. Right, so let's sit you up here. So you can see now we've done all the roads, the network of people coming in. And you can see that we're now up to 10,000 people. And I don't know how much we've laid down today. I'm hoping we should get about 13,000, 14,000 people. And the more we lay down like this, the more the population is going to grow, and the more the place looks like Monaco, you know, in terms of having more people around, etc. A lot more cars moving, because at the moment, because we've been working on the outskirts, not a lot of people are, you know, moving in and out because we haven't got that many buildings. It's all been a lot of procedural object building, and you know, more commercial buildings been going down, not many houses. So I think that will change. One thing I have actually done is I have also got, thanks to Mac Welshman, some sort of fake block population builders, which if we look here, you can see, you can see in the corner here. So what these are here is basically what Mac Welshman made me, and they're basically blocks, and in each block is a household. So these are officially, well, these are basically houses, but in a very small form factor that I can then pick up and move around. So you can see this one holds 40 people. He's done one with 20, he's done one with 10 as well. So what I can do is basically pop these out. You know, go and move it. We can copy them. We can then place them inside buildings to make the population more in that zone, which then definitely will increase our overall population, which is a really good thing for Monaco. So I'm really pleased with that. And a big shout out to Matt Welshman, who has helped a lot on the project in general. So I think over time we should get that up to about 12, 13,000. We're not going to do it and sit here and wait. It does take a good 10 minutes or so for the simulation to get to that point. But with this puppy in my arms trying to struggle because he wants to go out for a W, I'm going to have to end it there, guys. So sorry about that. We've been going for a couple of hours. I appreciate everyone who's dropped by today. I know I've seen there's been a lot of you who have come back from yesterday's stream as well, so I really appreciate you guys dropping in again. It's lovely to see you all, and also new faces as well. Good to see you here. If you're watching on Twitch, as I said, feel free to give my channel a like. Is it a like or follow? A follow, I think it is. Give it a follow so you can see when I'm streaming next, which will probably be maybe tomorrow, if not Friday. And if you're watching on YouTube and you're not following the channel, please feel free to subscribe. And if you are watching on YouTube, I would appreciate it greatly if you can quickly just hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the stream, because it's just a good way of growing the channel for me and getting more people involved. And you know, the more people involved in the project, the more exciting it is, and we can show everyone the work. But other than that, guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you for your time, and I will catch you all again very shortly. Thanks for watching, guys, and all the best.